Well, it's Monday morning and I'm on 422, about a mile and a half away from work, and I'm in here for about 10 minutes. Something bad happened. It's red all the way on the Google Maps, but it doesn't tell you why it's red. These guys' tires, you ain't got a lot of tread left on that. Oh, ODOT's going. Where'd he go? I can't see him. Well, I'll take it now. Let's see, what was the holdup? Police car, fire engine, that's not good. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. That explains all the water on the ground. Apparently the goddamn birds are doing that. I caught a bird just throwing the seed on the ground. This thing was full this morning. I don't know what to do about these damn birds. Monday night making dinner, pork chops with sauce and a stir fry, some rice. Using new plates we got yesterday at the outlet store. They have little pimples right there, but you know, that's character. These are about a third the price. So we got a bunch of these because they're like plates and bowls in one. So we got a whole bunch there. I brought one a couple weeks ago. She bought some for Christmas for me, and then we got little ones over there too. You know, it's just nice to have a little lip on it. So we'll do something like this, so we're gonna make that. Well, it's Saturday morning and it's finally happened. We got the truck moving. It's only like 30 degrees out. I say only, it's supposed to be at 50s today. Comes clean some of the snow out. So we're going up to Burton to buy a used TIG welder plus tank. So I think it's everything I need, with the exception of argon in the tank would be handy. And I'll need some consumables. So next week I can toss her out. It's a big tank too. And my little tanks, I need to get them all exchanged and refilled. So I have that. But then we can do some TIG welding. With TIG welding, you can run stainless steel, like for a railing there that somebody keeps asking about. Stainless steel on stainless rust. No, that won't work. But I should be able to, I believe with this one, do aluminum. I'm not positive. It's a Yes welder. It's a Chinesium one, but they're actually pretty good. Unlike the old Buzz welders, this one has lots of electronics in it, so that should work great. I can't get a new one for $250, so I told the guy who wanted $275. I mean, I'm taking a risk on it. Yes, I'm getting a tank, but it's empty and there's no warranty on the unit. So anyhow, we gotta start somewhere, right? Right, puppy? She was not happy. I think I left the battery, the USB charger on the last 2 weeks since we started this last. So had to charge it for about 15 minutes, but she runs. Accidentally found ourselves at Hartville Hardware. This is 15 minutes away from my house. Thinking it's time to order a pizza oven. This one's a little large. That one's nice. This one's a little small. Want something around 16 to 18 inches. That one's a good price point. Gazani. Something about this size. Got some eggs. Now I also want to use wood or gas. This is, I think, the model I've been thinking about. Get your pizza in there. Now the problem with this one is you got to turn it, but you're only cooking them for like a minute and a half. Again, this has the option to put the natural gas in there, but it does not have the option for woodage. You can tell here because it doesn't have one of these. So code at 2 is the gas powered one. That's a 14, that's not big enough. I want at least 16. I want to cover. Oh, that's nice. Topping station. I think I have one of those already. Oh, my helpers are here. Yeah, I'm not seeing what I like. Do like those eggs. That I get used. I think she knows I'm not going to cross the barrier. So I can go down there to the crosswalk, I could go down the driveway. I don't know what her thoughts are. Hey, you coming? Come on. Nope. She's in. Fuck you. We made it back. So this is the problem statement. I fill that up once a day and it ends up there. I mean, there's so much here that it actually, I've taken some, just scooped it up with my hand. It's not wet because it's not even in the thing. It's not even in the snow, and I just dump it right back up there. I don't know what they're rejecting here. But anyhow, and I saw 3 different squirrels on the feeder yesterday with the squirrel cam. So obviously we got a squirrel infestation. In fact, when Moxie jumped out of the car, she chased one off. So been buying this and putting mealworms in there. But I was at the hardware store, and they had 40-pound, 20-pound bags for $41 with something called anti-squirrel. And I was looking at it going, I'm not spending $40 for something I'm going to throw on the ground, potentially. Here we go, fire mix. So this treats 40 pounds. And it only treats, the birds don't care about the hot. So we're going to give that a go. Then over here, I went ahead and bought $40 worth of corn. So what I have done in the past is I take the end, I grind it off with the grinder, I take the drill, I drill a hole, and then I slap it in there. And then hopefully the squirrels will eat this. Usually they do one a day. So that's what we're gonna start doing there. I think I'm just gonna leave the box over there. Then yeah, we got the welders. So we got a tank, argon tank. This is, I think, 60 cubic feet. There's math, I don't know. It is an argon, so we're gonna exchange it. I'm not an argon, air gas. We're gonna exchange it for a new one later this week. Made in USA. So this provides the shielding gas. Then we got the welder, which is, I always forget how lightweight this is. There's 2 fingers. There's 1 finger holding it up. It's got a 220 plug, and I don't know if I have one of those, but there's an adapter to 110. So this is got the gas input, which I believe goes in there. And then it's the welding, and I guess that turns it on and off. There's a control line for that, so that all plugs in the front. He gave me some welding rod. I think it's just regular steel. Then you got your air tank. This goes from the unit to the regulator, which goes on top. And there's some other things in here. Here's the adapter to go to 120. And what else? Lots of tips and stuff. So I asked the guy what he was selling, and he said, frankly, he has one at work that he's allowed to borrow, and it's a more expensive one, and it is better, but then he can use that one to work. I don't know what those are for. These are the tips. Wow, that's heavy duty. So these go inside of here, and this is the electrode that you use to arc. So basically, and you got a lot of units. These are ceramic because they get really hot, and there's more of them. Anyhow, basically what you're doing is you're starting an arc that isn't oxidating because you got the argon, and you're just heating up the metal, and then you're using filler, and it's like soldering or brazing, but at a much higher temperature. Why this? He wanted 250, came with the tank. Tanks alone are like 200. He knew that, I knew that, but it wasn't full, so I got to get that exchanged. But I'm going to build a set of stainless steel, and you need TIG for stainless steel. TIG also is a higher level of welding than brazing or wire welding. This can also be used for just regular welding, just stick welding. But we got a big stick welder already for that, and she just kind of sits in the corner there. That guy back there. You can see me use. Anyhow, so I'm going to go ahead and feed the squirrel, poison the squirrel, fill the thing. Got to do a little cleanup. Hopefully my hose is got ice free, because I didn't drain it in November when it started snowing. Because I really want to wash that a little bit. She's a little. We'll do this one too, but that's squirrel ready. So it's just got a wood screw on there that I just screwed in there. That keeps the rain off a little bit. The tray keeps all the particles that fall off the ears of corn. And hopefully that will keep the squirrels alive. And we'll go ahead and dissuade them on the other side here. Needless to say, my OCD says no to that. We're going to watch that ASAP. Well, got a goal. Working on it for the last 2 hours, and it's to move the car. The first step was, see all those pieces of wood? They used to go in about a foot. I used way too long, and that doesn't work well because I couldn't get over them. So we're gonna move a few more items, got everything off here. Got to come up with a better storage system than just dumping it wherever it's partially stable. You may or may not remember, I believe I have a head gasket leak, and I have a head gasketing test kit, you know, somewhere around there. So we're going to go ahead and fire that up. I'm pretty certain. Of course, I don't know which side it is, so I'll end up doing both heads. That'll be great. I haven't moved this in a while. I want to look underneath, and you know, if I'm going to get a lift out here, I'm going to have to, you know, move it anyhow. So I think this bike is going to get relocated over to here. I'm going to just move the whole thing down to here and put that there. And move this one down here, because I think the lift is going to come out to right about here, which I need. And then plus when I put things on the lift, they're going to come up high. So I want to get these all, probably these two both have to move. But anyhow, that's for another day. Somebody's sequestered because she took herself for a walk and ignored me and then ran away while I was looking at her, yelling at her. So she's taking a time out right now. Turning over slowly. I put some Go Juice in her. That didn't seem to make a difference. I did want to check to make sure I had spark, and we definitely have spark. So you can see it would have been stupid if I didn't check this, but there we go. So if you look down there, you see sparks. So we definitely have a juice. We're gonna let it charge a little longer. I think that battery, which is 11/14, October 14, is seen better days. Well, I couldn't get her to turn over fast enough to start. She started once for a few seconds, but then ran out of fuel. I cleaned all the battery terminals. That didn't make a difference, but I was overheating the battery, and I was like, these were starting to melt. So I think I need to just replace the head gaskets, tear it down, and replace the starter. I've been thinking about replacing the starter anyhow. And I'll probably do new cables too, because they're looking a little crusty there. Jesus, 1988. Ugh. I don't even think how old it is. They're old. So, yeah. But tried to push it. I couldn't. I think that rear wheel's stuck. I probably need to just lift her up and fixate that wheel. I can certainly put a jacket right there and see if it turns. And if it doesn't turn, then I know that that's the problem. But at least I got it cleaned out and whatnot. And I did burn some extra cardboard and some extra wood I had and some wood scraps, so I kept a few of them and cleaned up and reorganized a little bit. Made a little space. So washed that. Kind of missed a few spots there, but you know, I washed it. It counts. Little Cooper saw 4 or 5 squirrels around this tree. You missed it, or I missed recording it. She was jumping up and down the tree, trying to get there. They're up there. Old bastards. It's not fair. They live in a 3D world. You're in a 2D world. It's still chilly out here, but At least the sidewalks are nice and clear. So I've been thinking about this. I was planning just to go get some 2x10s, which would bring it down to the level over there. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I ordered plates like that. Well, they're not like that. They're 4 inches and they only do 1. So I can do a couple lines. I'm gonna get like 50 of them. They're 2 feet long, so they're gonna be more like that. These I couldn't find, and I don't need those per se. And this gives me some more flexibility. So we're gonna go ahead and put plates in there. We'll put plates in there. There's some other areas in the house that lack heat. Specifically, our front doorway entry is completely void of any heat, and of course, that gets a lot of cold by nature. Why is that all bent like that? It doesn't look right. That's because it's not right. What the hell? I have to fixate that, maybe. That doesn't look right at all. What the hell? Yeah, that's... Oh, yeah, anyhow. Then I realized, well, if I'm going to do that, I can lower them and raise them and maybe get this whole area somewhat level. It's not currently level. And if I do that, then I don't need 2x10s because I'm going to do some variability. And then I realized I may have some of these outside. So I went outside. So what I'm going to do is use the wood like this that I have and put them in. And I'm going to put them next to like where that one is. So the goal is to strengthen and lower. Then I'm going to raise and lower it to make that whole area level up to here. And then here I'll be adding wood, just strips, because those already have things. I'm also going to glue. So that's gonna be fun. And I'm gonna clean all these strappings out of here. I'm gonna clean out the old ceiling over there, just spray some spray foam in there. So it's gonna be a thing. I'm gonna do it a week from Monday. But I went in the backyard and I found the wood that I needed and I dug it out, and which led to that whole thing. So we're gonna wash this off. It's full of crud. Got my hose out yesterday, and so long story short, well, nobody's been feeding. Well, there's been a little bit of feeding, not as much. Okay, so I got my wood over there. She looks beautiful. We're gonna go ahead and clean that up. And basically all that wood was from the middle pile over here. So just gonna, so there's now a big gap in there for the squirrels to go in. I need 2 more boards. I think I have them down there, but it's a little wet down there. Then lath can be used as a ceiling treatment or wall treatment. So I have bundles of lath that I saved in the house. And what I did is I sorted the ones that are useless, the ones that are too short, less than 12 inches, degraded, broken, etc., because they didn't come off pretty. So I've got 2 buckets that I need to bundle. So by bundling, when it dries out a little bit, I'm gonna go ahead and stack them and wrap them in plastic, put them in the basement. So I got this bucket, and that bucket to go through, and I went to 4 buckets. That bucket had a house and mice in it, so we didn't reuse that bucket. So we did free up that bucket. And yeah, so this is a burn pile. I'm gonna keep a few of those shingles just to redo the roof cover here, but I think this whole thing's going away later this year. And I think this is going away. I want a shed over here, like a little garden shed, where I can store, stuff like lawnmowers and crap. It was supposed to go over here, but that never really happened. And though she's thinking tree, I don't know why, but this one's not looking very good over there either. She's a walnut tree, and I'm putting a greenhouse in there, so. Or maybe we'll put a greenhouse over here. I don't know, like a lean-to kind of thing. That's kind of what we had to the shed many years ago, kind of more over there. But that's where that plastic came from. Yeah, so anyhow, so I cleaned that up. We got a burn pile. This, I think I'm just gonna shorten that and burn it. Burn. It's time to get rid of this pile. So what else do we have over here? We got siding for the original old house from 1899, and we got planking, a bed of 2x4s I forgot about, some 2x6s, some thick ones like that one right there. This one's the original thick ones. So part of the old house versus the addition. So yeah, it's going away. Oh, good to see these plants. So basically right now what we need to do is I'm going to carry these over. I'm going to wash them off and clean them, and then I can put them in the garage and let them dry out. They only need to be about 8 feet long. This one's like 12. These are all 10, so we got plenty. There you go. I'm doing this more because of the mold, and there's ice on there and debris. Just wanted to knock off the big shit. Ain't looking for protection here. So we'll go ahead and flip her and do this, and then I got another 8 boards to do. Maybe we can free those others. I'd like to do all 9 or 10. It's either 9 or 10 I need. Maybe it's 8. No, it's 9. It's 10. One of those. If I get 10, that's enough. Might only need 9 though. Hard tie. There you go. If this was summer, I'd pressure wash this, but I think I'm getting most of the goo off. I'll go ahead and when this is all dry, spray it with some anti-mold and stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and flip around the upside, clean that, flip around the other side, let them drain a little bit, and then we'll go stack them somewhere. You know, there. Actually, I'm gonna stack them there and let them dry off a little bit. The bird's in there. What are they doing? Crazy. Okay, these bad boys are done. Took some staples out and found one nail. Of course, it pulled right out after I got the hammer. It just kind of like fell out. So that's the way it works. So we'll go ahead and rest these up against here and let them drain, and we'll go get the eggs. These are pretty bad. In fact, I think I'm probably gonna cut the first 6 inches off this when I'm done washing it. Okay, well, nothing to it but to do it. It's definitely mold. It doesn't look like death anymore, so that's good. Flip it. Yeah, that's mold. It ain't good for you. So this thing may leak. So it's getting taken off to replace the gasket. We'll see now if it is a leaker. Oh yeah, it is a leaker. You can tell by the leakage. And then I'll flip it over. Yeah, so you gotta take that out. It's good for the first 10 years. The fun is there's a little bolt down here, so you have to, you gotta, so we use the old twistolator. This little guy with a little, and it's not a regular bolt, it's an E10. So it's a Torx, external Torx, E for external. And these are all the holes and things, so she'll rebuild. We'll get her again. Of course, it leaks out here, then it gets under snake belts and causes all sorts of havoc. This is the last board I could find. She's seen some better days. She was at the bottom. I need to cut back a little more. That thing is just rotted. We're gonna go ahead and assume that this is good until, well, we'll see when it dries how bad it is. I'll stick it in there. What's interesting is, looks like chestnut because of the holes. These little, unless something was boring, I don't think those are nails. Maybe they were. These little ones don't look like nails. Anyhow, interesting piece. Gonna go ahead and clean up. So these are the plastic parts we had to remove to get to, not the oil, but to the coolant line, because the coolant runs through the oil. Cooler filter housing, that I don't know what they call it in BMW land, but he bought a nice kit. It came with all new bolts or everything, new idler belts. He's replacing the serpentine belt, so I can't complain. I think I'm gonna cut that a little bit flatter there and go ahead and pop this up here. We're gonna let these dry overnight, then we'll put them